Namaskar. Lamenting the consequences of the war. The Bhagavad Gita begins with a dialogue between Sanjay and King Dhritarashtra. Sanjay was King Dhritarashtra's advisor and charioteer. With the battle about to begin, one can imagine how King Dhritarashtra felt. After all, the Pandavas were his nephews, and no family would want to engage in war with one another, would they? Now King Dhritarashtra was blind, and so he asked Sanjay to narrate what was happening on the battlefield. Was Sanjay on the battlefield? Not at all. But he had been blessed with a boon, Divya Drishti. He could see actions and hear things happening far and wide. This boon was gifted to him by none other than Sage Vyasa. Sanjay was a disciple of Sage Vyasa. This is the same Sage Vyasa who wrote the Mahabharata. Sanjay first narrated what was happening on the side of the Kauravas. Duryodhan was King Dhritarashtra's eldest son. Because of his blindness, it was Duryodhan who was managing all of his father's kingdom. Duryodhan was confounded by the strength and might of Arjuna's army. He decided to seek some comfort. That's how we find Duryodhan having a chat with his guru Dronacharya. Now one might think that this seems to be fair, but not quite. Duryodhan's little chat seemed to be two-folded. On one hand, he wanted to reassure himself that all will be well on their side of the battle. And on the other hand, he had an ulterior motive. What's the ulterior motive, you ask? Well, here goes. Duryodhan suspected Guru Dronacharya's loyalty to the Kauravas. Guru Dronacharya was not a warrior like many of the participants in the war. Like his name suggests, he was a guru. He taught military science. And now he was one of the commanders of the Kaurava army. But why would Duryodhan suspect his own guru? We need a backstory to understand this. King Drupad's son, Drishtadumna, was the commander-in-chief of the Pandava army. He was fighting on the side of Arjun and his brothers. Drishtadumna was one of Guru Dronacharya's disciples. One time in history, Guru Dronacharya, along with the Pandavas, had defeated King Drupad, taking away half his kingdom. Angered at this, King Drupad performed a sacrifice to have a son. Now this son, Drishtadumna, was born with a boon. He would kill Guru Dronacharya in the future. So now you know why Duryodhan was concerned. But there's one thing we must know about Guru Dronacharya. In spite of knowing this fact, Guru Dronacharya had imparted military training and knowledge to Drishtadumna without any bias. Let's get back to our story then, shall we? Duryodhan was trying to be a little sneaky and questioning Guru Dronacharya's abilities. But once a guru, always a guru. Dronacharya reminded Duryodhan of all the great heroes fighting on their side. Not only were they skilled in the art of warfare, but were also equipped with various kinds of weapons. Let's talk about grandfather Bhishma now, father to kings Dhritarashtra and Pandu, and grandfather to the Pandavas and Kauravas. Grandfather Bhishma was the commander-in-chief of the Kaurava army. He had a boon too. He could choose the time of his death. Can you imagine that? This means he was unbeatable. And that meant that Duryodhan would take full advantage of the situation and make the most of it, right? Like any elder and a grandfather, Bhishma was concerned about all his grandchildren. He had compassion for the Pandavas, but also he had an ethical commitment to the people of Hastinapur. Just to make Duryodhan happy, he half-heartedly led the Kauravas in the army. Grandfather Bhishma was aware of Lord Krishna supporting the Pandavas. And that meant that dharma, or the moral law that governs individuals, was in the favor of the Pandavas. Does this mean that the Kauravas had no real chance of winning? We'll find that out later. In those days, blowing a conch shell meant that the war was about to start. You could think of it as a signal of some kind. Grandfather Bhishma blew his conch shell, signaling the Kauravas' readiness. The Pandavas too blew their conch shells and enthusiasm filled the air. All of this noise was making the Kauravas slightly uncomfortable. Why, you ask? Because the Kauravas knew well that they had indulged in crimes and misdeeds. On the other hand, the Pandavas were confident, equipped, and the noise didn't make even one of them flinch.